Hello YouTube. This is my 2014 PowerMax 150cc. Now what's nice about this is it's a 150cc engine on a 50cc frame. And so this thing is pretty quick right off the bat. I was getting 60, 64 miles per hour, and I'm 275. So that's pretty good for a scooter. I did the CDI upgrade, I did the spark plug upgrade, and I did the coil upgrade. And it was like a $15 or $16 kit on eBay. Now, the first thing I did is I custom built a light display which has a regular, the black one is a regular LED, it's a bright one, and then I took the parts out of one of those flashlights that when you press the button it does all those things like SOS or a fast, it has automatic dim, and then in this one I had an old LED laying around and I changed that one out. But before I could change any of this to LED, the power supply that comes from the alternator that feeds it is AC. It's a yellow wire that comes into one of those connectors. And if you know anything about the wiring of scooters, I'll show you here from the light that I cut out. You have a green, a blue, and a white. Now these two wires come from the bright and the low beam switch, and this is the old headlight. This is the ground. Okay, so what you have is you have a black wire that goes to the main feed to this turn signal, and then it comes back blue or white depending if you do the high beams. Well, that black wire was AC, so I had to find a DC source and swap it out. Well, this light right here would come on when the ignition would come on, which means that there was a DC feed to that. Well, I tied into the positive of that, went up, and the thing was right up in here underneath this panel. I disconnected the yellow wire, which came from the alternator, and tied in the positive wire to the black wire that feeds the turn signal. From there, I was able to get DC to here. If you don't do that, you will not get LED lights to work in these units. Okay, the other thing I did was the turn signals were actually mounted right here. And I removed those and permanently mounted them here. Okay, so that I could install some higher beam fog lights. And that way I can point the direction of the beam that I want. Now, the bulb, I did the brake lights also. I'm not going to show you that, but it was the traditional 1157 bulb, which is a brake light and running light. And I bought replacement LEDs, and the number for this was the LED 1157 185M or 18SMD. And the same thing for the turn signals. The turn signals had the traditional slip-in socket type bulb, and I replaced it with the amber LED replacement. Of course, you have to get those plugged in correctly or they won't work. One thing nice about this is my original turn signals, because they were running the incandescent bulbs, had an amber dome. And so I was able to remove that dome, which gives it a really neat look. All you see is the LED. Now I'm going to go turn everything on and show you what it looks like. So we have the bulbs. Now when I turn my high bright lights on, you will notice that the two top and this gets brighter. Now let me show you something neat. If I turn it back off and on, I have the function of the flashlight. Pretty neat, huh? Alright, now here's the turn signal. And I've got the same on the back. Alright. Since I installed the performance CDI plug and coil with my 275 pound frame, I'm actually getting to 68 miles per hour on a 150cc engine. I haven't done anything to the engine. It has about 240 miles on it. I got it at 140. So then the guy that had it before me didn't do anything to it at all but drive it. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.